Welcome back to What's Your Take? Real talk on leadership and life. I'm Dr. Nikki, the DBA pharmacist and founder of FitBiz Global Solutions. Today we're diving into how Gen Z is transforming innovation and leadership, not just through technology, but through mindset, creativity, and bold entrepreneurship. Later in the show, we'll also hear from Zuri, a 19-year-old entrepreneur bringing a fresh perspective on innovation, creativity, and what it means to build something meaningful at a young age. Today, we're breaking down what innovation really means when Gen Z steps into leadership and why their version of success looks a little different from what we've seen before. We often talk about innovation like it's just about adopting the latest technology. But what I'm seeing, especially when working with younger professionals and entrepreneurs, is something deeper. Innovation today is also about rethinking how we connect, communicate, and lead. Gen Z, in many ways, has grown up during constant change, also known as digital natives. They've experienced economic shifts, rapid technological advancement, global conversations around equity and inclusion, and an increased focus on mental health and well-being. So it's not surprising that their approach to innovation looks different. For many Gen Z leaders and entrepreneurs, innovation isn't just about inventing something new. It's about creating something meaningful. It's about purpose. It's about authenticity. And it's about building systems and communities that reflect their values. What's fascinating is how this generation blends technology, social impact, and personal identity into the way they lead. There's no separating their values from their work. They're integrating them. And that shift is changing how organizations, brands, and even entire industries think about innovation. When we look at the real world, this shift becomes even clearer. We're seeing Gen Z entrepreneurs launching digital startups, turning side hustles into full-scale businesses, and building community-driven brands that connect people in entirely new ways. Innovation today doesn't always come from massive corporations or billion-dollar research labs. Sometimes it starts with a laptop, a smartphone, and a powerful idea. Sometimes it starts with someone saying, why not try something different? And what makes Gen Z especially interesting in this space is their willingness to experiment. They're comfortable learning in public. They're comfortable adapting quickly. And they understand that innovation doesn't have to be big or loud to be meaningful. Sometimes innovation shows up in small but powerful ways in how we communicate, collaborate, and build communities around shared ideas. And that spirit of experimentation is exactly what we're seeing from young leaders stepping into entrepreneurship today. We've heard how leaders are mentoring and learning from Gen Z. Now let's hear directly from them. Joining me today is Zuri, a 19-year-old entrepreneur who is showing what Gen Z innovation looks like in real time. Zuri, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
We're excited too. You've grown up in a world of constant change, from tech to culture to how we define success. When you hear the word innovation, what does it mean to you personally?
Innovation to me isn't just about creating something new. It's about creating something useful. For Gen Z, it's about finding new ways to solve everyday problems, especially those that affect people around us.
That's such a refreshing take. Innovation as usefulness and impact. You started your own business at 19. What inspired you to take that leap so early?
I wanted to combine creativity and purpose. I saw a gap in how young people approach promoting health awareness and positivity in their communities and thought, why wait? I can start small and learn as I go.
That learn as you go attitude is powerful. Do you think Gen Z views innovation differently from older generations?
Definitely. Older generations often see innovation as something big or corporate. We see it as personal. How we build community, create meaningful work online, and use our voices.
Interesting. What's one challenge you faced as a young entrepreneur that people might not expect?
Being taken seriously. Sometimes people assume age means inexperience, but I turned that into motivation. to learn more, prove my ideas, and connect with others who believe in the vision.
That's a powerful lesson. If you could change one thing about leadership today, what would it be?
Make leadership more collaborative. The best leaders make everyone feel their ideas matter. And that's when innovation happens.
Love that. Before we wrap up, what advice would you give to other young people with big ideas who are afraid to start?
Start anyway. Don't wait for perfect timing. Every step teaches you something. That's how innovation grows.
Beautifully said. Thank you for sharing your energy and insight, Zuri. If you're a Gen Z innovator out there, reshaping your world, tag us or DM your story at fitbiz.solutions on Instagram, and you might be featured in an upcoming episode. One thing that really stood out from Zuri's perspective is that Gen Z isn't waiting for permission to innovate. They're just doing it. They're testing ideas, adapting quickly, and learning in real time. There's a freedom in that mindset, a willingness to say, why not try? But for many leaders, fear still gets in the way. Fear of failure, fear of change, or even fear of disrupting what's already working. And yet, that's exactly where innovation lives, on the edge of the unknown. Real innovation requires psychological safety, a space where people feel comfortable experimenting, sharing ideas, and learning from mistakes. And this is where leadership becomes critical. Leaders set the tone. When they model curiosity instead of certainty, they create environments where innovation can actually grow. This is also where cross-generational collaboration becomes powerful. Experienced leaders bring perspective. Gen Z brings boldness and adaptability. And when those strengths come together, innovation becomes more sustainable and impactful. Because in the end, innovation isn't just about technology. It's about mindset, curiosity, and the courage to try something new. And that brings us full circle. Today's conversation reminds us that innovation is more than technology. It's a mindset. Through Zuri's perspective, we saw how the next generation is approaching leadership with creativity, purpose, and a willingness to experiment. And as leaders, we are reminded that leadership doesn't belong in one generation. It grows stronger when we learn from each other. So here are the takeaways from today's episode. Innovation is a mindset, not a tool. Leadership grows through cross-generational collaboration. Courage and curiosity drive meaningful change. Before we go, I want to thank Zuri for sharing her voice and perspective with us today. Her business, Zuri Topaz Vibes, focuses on health awareness merchandise and inspirational products. You can connect with Zuri on Instagram at Zuri Topaz Vibes or on LinkedIn using her name, Zuri Bonamy. And to our listeners, if you're mentoring the next generation or building something bold, we'd love to hear your story. Thanks for joining me on What's Your Take? Real Talk on Leadership and Life. As always, thank you for listening with me. If this episode resonated with you, follow or subscribe wherever you listen. Share with someone navigating leadership in their own way. And stay connected at fitbizsolutions.com and on social, Instagram at fitbiz.solutions, Facebook, Fitbiz Solutions, YouTube, Fitbiz Solutions Media, or connect directly with me at Dr. Nikki, the DBA pharmacist, on Instagram. Until next time, stay curious, stay bold, and stay innovative. Lead with intention, protect your capacity, and always ask, what's your take?